I'm Jay Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the July 29, 2017 edition of the Bible Delight in the Details. We are in a three-part mini-series on Psalm 139 as part of a larger series on the Psalms. Yesterday we talked about the first few verses of Psalm 139, and today we're going to look at the middle one. This is a psalm toward the end of the book. It is associated with and allegedly written by King David, and it does have many of the hallmarks of his writing, and so conservative scholars believe that indeed it is a David original. I want to go to the second part. The first part, verses 1 through 6, as we talked about yesterday, emphasize how well God knows us and the great, wonderful way that makes you feel when you are so completely and thoroughly known and understood by someone. Now I want to read verses 7 through 12. And again, let this beautiful affirmation wash over you. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark for you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light for you. You know, I think a lot of times when that section is taught, it is often taught with the idea that the psalmist is trying to get away from God, that he is embarrassed or he's fearful or ashamed perhaps of his sin, and so he's trying to flee from God, and he's saying, I can't go anywhere, I can't get away from you. But, you know, and that is true, but I see it in a very different way. I think that because of the other contexts of the psalm, it's saying that I don't want to be away from you. And the great thing is I never have to. No matter where I go, whether it's on the earth, the land, the ocean, or up in the heavens, as we now can go in airplanes and even rocket ships to outer space, we will not go away from God. There is no way that we will ever not have access to God if we want Him. There is no way, because He is everywhere. And that is glorious. That is such a peaceful kind of feeling. You know, it also shows you that if for some reason you did feel that you wanted to move away from God, maybe you are ashamed of something, or you're upset with God and you want a little distance, God's still there. You know, you may not like it, but He ain't going anywhere. It makes me think of a beautiful song. I think it's by Plum. I Don't Deserve You. And in it, the chorus says, you know, when I run away, you come running after me, because that's just what you do. That is so like God. He just will not let us go. He loves us that much. You know, and I think sometimes of friends, you know, when there is any kind of an estrangement, when there is any kind of misunderstanding, and you sense that, there's a little distance here, are you the one that picks up the phone? Do you say, no, we're not having this, and I'm not leaving here until this is settled, and I'm going to win you back? Because that's what we're supposed to do with people we love, and God does it all the time with us. And if you've ever had a situation where somebody showed you that the relationship was so precious to them that regardless of whether they thought they were in the right, in the wrong, whatever, they put all that aside and they just came running after you and said, we will make this right. I will make this right. Whatever it is. There's really nothing like that. There's nothing so meaningful to me anyway as that, and charming and endearing and all the rest. And to think that God does that all the time with us, just like just like the song says. You always come running after me, because that's just what you do. When you stop and think that that's the kind of God we worship, it's amazing. Especially when you think about him and us and the vast difference. It's incomprehensible how he could love us that much. There's just not enough in us to be so lovable that he would come running after us, and yet he does. He refuses to leave us. I think also about, if there's ever been times in your life when you've been very frightened, or you've been in dire straits, maybe health-wise and all, and there's something about friends and family who just say, I ain't leaving. You can tell me to go, but I'm not going anywhere. That's kind of how it's always been in my family. Growing up, when there's been illness, you didn't leave that hospital. You were there. If your family member was there, you were there. And what a glorious feeling. I mean, we're in this together, and that's exactly how God is. God never leaves us. I tell you, I could keep on talking, but I think I've made my point. I think you can tell this is a glorious attribute of God that I take very seriously, and it's another reason why it bothers me when people diss God and say bad things about God, because to me there is so many endearing qualities, and the fact that he always comes running after us and refuses to leave us no matter where we may go is one of those charming qualities. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great weekend.